Amendments will be archived on the myneighborhoodcouncil.org website, and you then go from there to your neighborhood council, which is these programs, and you'll be able to hear all of these amendments again if you wish to. But we discussed the first 4 or 5 of them, and I'm going to discuss the last several amendments. Amendment, and it's called 6F, was put forth by Richard Alarcon and seconded by Jose Huizar. These amendments were put forth by essentially all of the city council members. I'm trying to think if any of them didn't either put forth an amendment or bring forth a second on one of them. At any rate, amendment number 6F, that would have been the 6th of these 9 amendments, was a recommendation that Mr. Alarcon made, and he proposes that the electric and the water rate rate increases, the amount of added income that they generate, should be excluded from the submittal of the water revenue transfer and the power revenue transfer. Well, I don't understand Mr. Alarcon's position in this regard, because the water revenue transfer and the power revenue transfer are ordinanced activities. They are required by the Department of Water and Power to take 5% of its water revenue and 7% of its power revenue and send it back to the city. As you heard, the water revenue may be an illegal transfer and therefore may be something that the Water and Power cannot do. The city then has the decision, well, are we going to receive it or not? And the city says in the 6B of these 9 amendments, if 6B passes, the city says, no, we don't want it anyway. So Mr. Alarcon, I think, is proposing something that is counter to our ordinances, but also is not necessary. Let's go on to 6G. The city council, it reads, it's from Eric Garcetti, from Jan Perry, from Greg Smith, and Wendy Gruhl. Now, they are saying that the city is considering rate increases for water and power, and they currently are aware of an oversight committee, which I'll talk about again in a minute, that'll be composed of key representatives of key parts of city government. But in addition to the city government's oversight committee, they recommend having a citizens oversight committee that will permit citizens to watch over and comment on the application of these new funds, whether they're going to go to improve the facilities and the reliability of the Department of Water and Power to give us good, low-cost water and low-cost power to our homes, to our businesses, and to our industry. Well, you heard me say that 66 of 75 neighborhood council members of the oversight, of the MOU Oversight Committee, now I have to specify that, have already determined what they want to do and what they recommend to the City Council and to the Department of Water and Power. Excuse me. Now we hear that the city is deciding to come forth with a blue ribbon oversight committee. You may not know, but I'd like to remind you that the Department of Water and Power has its own oversight committee composed of the president and one of the members of its board of commissioners. And now the city is going to have another citizens oversight committee, but the oversight committee that did the job, the oversight committee that at least caused the Department of Water and Power to be asked to wait a minute by the city council, is the oversight committee which is representing the 75 neighborhood councils which are in the Water and Power Neighborhood Council Memorandum of Understanding. So what we have here is a potential for 3 more oversight committees in addition to the Neighborhood Council, Department of Water and Power, Memorandum of Understanding Oversight Committee. My apologies for having to go through that rather long name, but that is the Oversight Committee that has done the job. And it looks to me like the city, the department, and the city council are trying to dilute the impact of the neighborhood councils, which have really been analyzing the Department of Water and Power's structures. That was Amendment 6G, the seventh of the 9 amendments. Amendment 6H is from Dennis Zine, second by Greg